And we are back. Welcome back to another episode of Born to Talk About Sports. I am your host, Steve Bourne. And tonight, since it's the when I'm recording, this is the night one of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm going to give you guys my Stanley Cup, at least the first round predictions. I'm going to start out west. I'm going to start with the number one seed in the West, the Colorado Avalanche, get the number two wild card seed, which are the Nashville Predators. Excuse me one second. This would have been a close series, but news just came down that Predators goalie UC Saros will be missing the first two games of the series due to a non-contact injury. So I do think I was thinking Colorado was going to win in a bit of a longer series, but if Nashville has to run out their backup goalie for the first two games, I'm thinking probably Colorado in 5. Nashville might take one at home if Saros gets back in time, but this should be a quick series for Colorado. Normally they're pretty good in their first round. It's the second round where they have their problems. The number 2 seed in the West is the Calgary Flames, and for winning their division, they get the Dallas Stars in the first round. Again, this one I'm going to take Calgary, just that top line. Giordano, who's just had a career year. Calgary's probably got the best goalie they've had since Kiprusoff and Jacob Markstrom. And with my pick for coach of the year, Sutter behind the bench, I think Calgary wins this more than likely 5 games. Wouldn't be even surprised if this was a sweep. And then going to the Central Division 2-3 matchup, it's St. Louis, Minnesota. And for the Western Conference playoffs, this will be the best series of the first round. Both teams have good goaltending, a lot of scoring. Like I said, this is perfectly even match. I'm taking St. Louis in 7 just because they're only a couple years away from winning the whole damn thing, and so I think that championship experience will come into play. And that's why I do think they come to win this series. And then the other 2-3 matchup is the Edmonton Oilers versus the very surprising LA Kings, because I don't think anybody had LA making the playoffs this year. But I do think McDavid, Draisaitl, and the gang will find a way to beat LA. The only way this series even goes past 5 games is if Jonathan Quick turns the clock back. But yeah, I think Oilers should win this one fairly comfortably. But Edmonton in the playoffs, we saw last year, and in the bubble play-in, nothing's a guarantee. Especially Mike Smith in net. He's had a great regular season, at least the last 2 months. But he could easily disappear for 3 or 4 games, and that's it. Now heading out east, I'm going to start with the number 1 seed Florida Panthers, and they are facing the second wildcard seed, the Washington Capitals. As of right now, it looks like Ovechkin's a no-go for Game 1 after the incident with colliding with Leafs goaltender Eric Källgren. They're saying upper body, but from what I've read and gathered, it seems like more of a collarbone type injury than a concussion. But obviously, this time of year, teams are going to stay mum on injuries. But I do think this will be the first time since 1996 where the Florida Panthers do get past the first round, and I think they do it relatively easily. I'm going to say 5 games. If Backstrom and Kuznetsov go nuts and Ovi comes back in time, it might go 6. But that's as far as I see it. But give me the Panthers. Your other division winner is the Carolina Hurricanes. They get the Boston Bruins. Carolina, I haven't heard anything about if Ranta or Freddie Anderson are healthy. I still think Carolina has enough to get past Boston. Because outside of the perfection line, the Bergeron, Pasternak, Marchand line, and Charlie McAvoy, Boston doesn't really have that much. Jacob DeBrusk, maybe. Taylor Hall, maybe. It depends when he shows up. But give me Carolina. well coached, and if Freddie Anderson or Brandt are good to go, I'm going to take Carolina in 6, maybe 7 if Boston tries to goon it up, which is definitely their style. And then the 2-3 in the Metropolitan Division is Pittsburgh, Carolina. Or not, sorry, Pittsburgh, Carolina. Pittsburgh, New York. The Rangers and the Penguins. This could be a very good series if Penguins goaltender not Ranta, sorry. Oh Jesus, name's escaping me right now. But if he was pretty much good all year. Damn, this pissed me off. But if the Penguins get the goaltending, I mean, he's not going to out goaltender Shesterkin, who's got the Vezina pretty much wrapped up, and possible Hart Trophy nomination. But you got Sid Malkin trying to take it back one more time. Then you got the young upstart New York Rangers led by guys like Panarin. Hell, even Lafreniere, who's really stepped up as of late. Got guys like that. No, this New York Pittsburgh series, it'll be a fun one to watch. I'm gonna, just for championship experience, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. I'll take them in 7. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised in the least if Rangers won this at 6. But I'm gonna say Pittsburgh in 7. And then the series everyone's wanted me to make a prediction of. The Toronto Maple Leafs versus the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. On paper, this is about as even as you can get. Vasilevsky, Jack Campbell, both have had excellent years. Both have had ups. Both have had major downs. It's since Jack Campbell has come back, he's regained the form that he was in the first half of the year, pre-Christmas COVID break. Vasilevsky, one of the best goaltenders in the game. The defense on paper, I'd give a slight edge to Tampa just because of Cup experience. But since the Leafs got Mark Giordano to help stabilize the youth in the back end, the Leafs are 12-2-2. And since the trade deadline, so again, the Leafs defense will have its. I mean, it's not. Let's face it, it's not New Jersey Devils 1995 kind of good, but it is good enough. But then you go for the heavy hitters up front. This series has more star power than any other series. Got Kucherov, Stamkos, Point, Palat, and then you've got Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander. And then you've got your X factors like for Tampa, like Corey Perry and guys like that. And then on the Leafs, you have Ilya Mikheyev, the returning Andre Kasha, coming back from a concussion. You could have Michael Bunting's due back. He's not going to be good for game 1, but he could come back game 2 or 3 from the leg injury. As far as total forward depth, 1 through 12, I do give the Leafs the advantage. But, I mean, who knows what Tampa would have done this year if Kucherov was healthy. I mean, Kucherov only played about 45, 50 games this year or so. But I'm very down. I think it comes to championship experience. As a Leaf fan, this hurts, but I'm going to say Tampa in 6. If Matthews and Marner basically shrug off what's happened in the last 2 years, I could see the Leafs taking this to 7. But I think it's the championship experience wins out. And with the defending champions, you always pick the champs to win the series unless they're not in it anymore. So I'm going to take Tampa in 6. And yeah, so that's my first round predictions. I've been saying for this entire year, if the Leafs don't get out of the first round, it's going to cost Dubas and Keefe their jobs. I think drawing Tampa, the 2-time Cup champs in the first round, unless it's a sweep or 5 games where they just get absolutely obliterated, I do think Dubas and Keefe keep their jobs for next year, but there will be some obvious changes. But yeah, so those are my picks. Tell me what you think in the in the comment section. Use the hashtag BornSports, as you're gonna see over my shoulder here. Hey, I got it. Yeah, go me. But yeah, enjoy the playoffs. The first round is always the most enjoyable. It's the most physical for sure before the teams start settling in the second round and then the conference finals. But yeah, so I do think the next round we get a Battle of Alberta, which should be an all-out war. It usually is, but they haven't seen them in the playoffs in probably well over 30 years. Um, but yeah, so again, tell me what you think. Tell me what who do you think is probably going to be the star of the first round, and who do you think will be the biggest GOAT? And I'm not talking greatest of all time. So yeah, again, guys, enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs. First round is always the best. Have fun. And I know as a Leaf fan, this is probably going to be another 10 to 12 days of misery coming up. But again, it's 55 years. What's one more?